Hello, everyone. My name is Luke, Regional Sales Manager for EGlass. Welcome to HELP Learning Livestream. In our weekly episodes, we have different amazing guests each week where we discuss the latest topics and trends in education with the help of those amazing guests. Remember, you can always sign up for notifications for these events so you don't ever miss an episode. And I'd like to encourage you to comment with your questions, and we'll answer those as we go. And if you are watching a recast of this, feel free to comment in your questions and we'll address them as we get them. Today, our guest is Ji Shen. He's the founder of Pathway Innovations and co-creator of EGlass. Ji, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Luke. Glad to be here.
You're welcome. Well, so Ji, tell us how EGlass came to be.
Kind of a funny story. An accidental discovery. So I had a freak accident, fell off a tree, broke my collarbones, and couldn't work, couldn't exercise, a lot of pain, yes. 2 surgeries. Before the second surgery, I was just kind of browsing videos on YouTube, and I decided to brush up on my face. And there I was taking electromagnetic field theory and came across this video given by Professor Matt Anderson with San Diego State University. And he was teaching behind the glass. So that really kind of piqued my interest. Yeah, the one exactly that you're writing on. It's quite unique because every other teacher is kind of turning their back, writing on a whiteboard. You have a camera showing the whole classroom. And, you know, the thing is that you really can't engage any student with the back of your head. And Professor Anderson was doing it facing the students the whole time. So that really caught my attention. And we discovered that to get that working, Matt has to put together some like third-party camera, general purpose camera, mirrors, and video mixers, quite a setup. So we got together and we said, let's make this a plug-and-play device, make it affordable, make it available to every teacher, and to help students learn better. That's how EGlass came into being. Luke, your video seems to be frozen. Let's see, maybe Luke can sign back in. Well, Luke is probably trying to get his video back on. Let me just talk about today's topic. And I think we talked about how EGlass came into being, but I think EGlass is really an important tool in improving student engagement. Here you are, you're back.
I'm back. Sorry about that. I had a internet connection issue on this side of the country.
I think that's because you turned your back. Once you turn your back, it's dangerous.
The universe was unhappy with me for turning my back on the audience.
That's
it happens.
Right.
It's the way it is. What did I miss?
Oh, just talk about, you know, it was just kind of a serendipitous discovery. You know, Matt and I got together. We put a camera together with illuminated glass. Specialized camera, specialized software. We put together a new product, and it's affordable and it's easy to use for pretty much every teacher, every student.
And So I think the obvious application for what we've done here is there. What are some of the particular challenges with using old-fashioned chalkboards, old-fashioned dry erase whiteboards, even some of the newfangled interactive whiteboarding technologies and interactive flat panels? Can you talk about some of the challenges with those methods of teaching?
Yeah, everybody is looking for better ways to engage students, and the chalkboard is a good invention. 120 years ago, it came into being, and whiteboard is good. It got rid of the floating dust, but the whiteboard and the chalkboard has the same issue, is that whenever you write, you turn your back. You turn your back, the students kind of lose attention. When you have a lot of students in the classroom sometimes, and it just got even worse. So you can't engage anybody with the back of your head. And then you got to look at the students, and even with interactive flat panels or interactive whiteboards, it's the same issue, right? If you turn around and face the student, you're not looking at the content. If you look at the content, you're not looking at the students. I mean, some teacher has developed this amazing technique. They can kind of side gaze the student and then turn around, side gaze the content. But still, it's not quite good enough. For the first time, with EGlass, you get to see, the teacher get to see the information on the glass, and the student get to see the glass as well. So both the teacher and the students are looking at the information together. That creates a synergy, and that also allows the students to see the teacher's gaze at the information, the teacher's gesture, pointing at the information, the teacher's body language, and the expressions. All of these help. The researchers actually prove when the teacher's expression and gaze are helping, you're gonna draw their attention to the right content that the teacher wants to really present. B is that by having the teacher's expression, the body language, you kind of foster this social partnership in the process of learning, and that motivates the students so that they are they're more invested in the learning process, more motivated.
I love that term, social partnership. Can you expand on that a little bit in the realms of in-person instruction, remote instruction, and then that combo that is so popular these days, the hybrid model of instruction?
Yeah, great questions. And everybody look at EGlass, and not many people have heard about it yet, but more and more people are hearing about EGlass, and they're getting very excited about EGlass. But the first reaction is always, wow, I think this is great for distance learning. But in reality, this is really a great in-classroom teaching tool, and it's better, in my opinion, than you just use a whiteboard or your chalkboard and you turn your back constantly to write on the board. So because now you don't have to turn your back, you're always looking at the student. You can look right into the camera, and on the big screen, today we don't have the visuals, but later we can find some more visuals. When the teacher look into the camera, or the teacher looking at the information being written on the board, the students on the big screen, watching on the big screen, actually feel like the teacher is looking at them directly. And the really amazing effect is that when we talk to people, the students in the audience, actually every single one of them felt like the teacher is talking to them one-on-one. So that's the amazing effect. I think, yeah, it's like you're writing right now, and if you look into the camera, I feel like you're looking at me. That's how I felt that day when I was taking lesson when Matt Anderson was teaching. So I think this is a better tool. And it also, in the classroom, it combines your digital content, digital media with your ink writing. And if you actually couple this EGlass with the interactive flat panel, you actually could annotate on the touch with the multi-touch on the IFP to annotate over your ink. And then at the same time, you can use ink to annotate over digital media. For remote, in a remote environment, it's really critical the teacher is looking at the students and is visually engaging. But this is a no-brainer. Everybody look at this, is going to be seeing this benefit. It's so clear.
That's what we're doing right now.
Hybrid, exactly. That's what we're doing right now. And with hybrid, is also more interesting because some students are in the classroom, some students are at home. So the home ones are called the Zoomers, and the Zoomers will be able to see you as a teacher the same way I'm seeing you. But people in the room, the roomers, are equally getting this engagement. So the teacher get to teach two groups of students with the same content at the same time, and almost like you're getting cloned on the fly, kill two birds with one stone, not two. So it's really perfect for this hybrid environment. Teachers are burned out, they're really stressed out, they have a lot of work if they have to do 2 shifts to teach the roomers and the Zoomers separately, it's just double the work. And this put them back into this normal workload.
Well said. So we're going to wrap up here soon, but give us kind of your vision for the next, the next semester. We're wrapping up the spring semester soon. The fall will start in a few months. So what's your forecast? What do you see happening in education?
Hopefully the pandemic will be generally under control with vaccination going on the broad scale. But I think this is interesting. This pandemic disrupted a lot of things, but also prompted people to think more and sometimes think more creatively. And a lot of people now, there's remote work, there's remote learning, and there are some students getting back to the classroom. Some students and some parents may want to keep their kids at home. So there are a variety of things happening. Some may want to be homeschooled for a long time. Some may want to go back to the classroom because I think the social aspect for students is also very, very important. So we're going to see a variety. Maybe there is in-person, a lot of in-person, but also a lot of hybrid to accommodate different needs. And the pandemic really made people realize that educational technology used to be a nice to have, but now is almost a must have. And out of this, with the new way of teaching, more innovations will come. So, there's just going to be people will be at a different level in terms of applying technology and making learning more accessible and more equitable for everybody.
Well, Ji, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us, discussing your history with EGlass, your vision for the future. Those of you who have tuned in, thank you so much for being here. Those of you watching this in a rebroadcast, remember you can continue to ask your questions, offer your comments in the chat, and we will address those. And join us back here next Tuesday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, for our next edition of HELP Learning Live.